Welcome to the Wallcast. This is our unknown date and time in May. This is our somewhat of an 8th episode, I believe.
Seventh. Well, if you count the bonus episode, then we're on 8. But I made the bonus episode 6.5.
So this is coming to you right in the start of May. There is Logan, Phil, Sam, Matthew, Grant, and myself, Frank. A couple things to go over just to kind of jump into it. Free Comic Book Day is normally the first Saturday in May, and that is postponed. There hasn't been a date thus far, but keep checking up with us on our Facebook and other social media. There'll be updates as soon as we get them. We will be participating as we do every year. May the 4th is going to be before this goes live, because this will go live on Wednesday, where May 4th is on this past Monday. So happy May the 4th. This is also our 4th May and 3rd year anniversary, which is pretty big for us. Pretty big year, we'd hoped, but hopefully we'll pick it up soon. As soon as we're allowed to reopen, you guys can come in and check out the store. We are running a GoFundMe page for the store, just to kind of help with some of the utilities and stuff like that due to COVID, us being closed, and pretty much being shut down primarily for about 3 months, I believe, at this point, almost.
No, it started in like mid-March, I think.
Mid-March, so but it will be
3 months by the time, because I mean 15th is when they're supposed to start reopening stuff in New York, but I mean obviously local comic book shop isn't going to be a part of that first reopen list, I don't think.
So make sure you check out all our social media. The GoFundMe will be live this week. It'll be posted all across our social media platforms, just to kind of help us jumpstart our reopening. We are going to do a reopening party if everything goes as planned. Hopefully Free Comic Book Day will be thrown in there, as well as a May the 4th belated celebration. So be sure to check out the store, check out our social media platforms. Updates will follow soon. So we're going to just run down the list like we always do. We're going to talk about what we've been doing during quarantine. There's also some news Marvel DC wise. And we've all hopefully been watching some new TV shows to give you some new recommendations and definitely cover some stuff that you definitely should not ever watch. So I guess we're going to lead it off, since Logan is the first picture to my left. We're going to lead it off with Logan.
Okay, I guess for updates, I don't have any new TV shows I've been watching. I've been primarily playing Classic WoW, as I always do, but some big things did happen in regards to the guild I was in. We actually just did a revolution against our guild leader 2 days ago. We had a guild meeting a week ago, 2 weeks ago, basically telling him, like, all right, this stuff needs to change, and don't make it such a dictatorship. And he didn't listen. And
So you guys threw a coup.
Yeah, we pretty much threw a coup. But what primarily happened is everyone but him and his officers, which were brown nosers, left. And the guild is it's now a council and less of a dictatorship.
All right.
And I mean, it's
awful,
no, it doesn't.
You guys skipped the Age of Darkness, which is the best part.
Oh my God.
Logan, it sounds like you have more success in your guild than our government does.
Exactly.
Staging actual
so they can actually stop their dictator that's in power.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should throw a
All right.
What dictator?
But
Checks and balances.
yes, that's everything that's happened so far in regards to my week of quarantine, and I'm going to snazz it over to Phil, since he's to my left.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. My name is Phil Jake Enrelli. I have played video games nonstop this week. I have watched one show, and one show only. It's called Brew Brothers on Netflix.
I saw that.
It's not horrible. That's all I'm going to say. It was good enough. I finished the whole series. It was entertaining for me to watch. This is the first beer I've drank in over a year. So I'm kind of back into beer. So I recommend that. I've been playing Call of Duty. and I've been just slowly getting stuff ready for Twitch and YouTube and getting stuff ready for start doing content again when my computer's finally built. So that's all I got. Brew Brothers, give that a shot, and come play Warzone with me.
Is it about brothers who brew?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shopping.
Sounds like my neck of the woods right there.
Yeah.
Not moonshine, Logan, beer.
Like
Same
I would
thing.
give it a solid 6.5.
Out of 10?
Yes, and my 10, there is no 10. 10 doesn't exist in my eyes. There's no perfect show. So
I don't disagree with you, Phil.
yeah.
Alchemist.
I mean, I feel like most shows fall in the category of like 3 or below.
So, well, earlier before the podcast, sorry, you mentioned there's a certain show that you thought was total garbage, and it made me not want to do the podcast today. So
I will go into more depth.
yeah,
Not for nothing, but if your scale, if every show that you watch you feel is a below a 3, wouldn't that change your scale? So that would be a scale of like 6?
1 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because I believe there are shows that I've watched that I've really enjoyed that I would put way above a 3. But the majority of shows, especially since I've been in quarantine, that I watched literally fall in the like. If I was not locked in my house, I would never have watched.
Well, I guess I'll take over after Phil because one show I thought I would never watch, especially now thanks to this, it was Beastars, because it's not an anime that I would ever think was kind of in my league.
Speaking of shows that
But-
are 3 and below,
No, I watched it. I mean, it's not superb. It's not the best thing that's ever been put to anime. You know, nothing like that. It's just a really solid show.
about furry porn.
It's a lot more than that. It really is a lot more than that. Like, that's all just kind of themes they use to talk about different topics and different kind of ideas.
There's 2 good episodes.
I'd say there's a lot more than 2 good episodes.
The first episode is good, and the episode where he rescues the rabbit.
Listen, any show that is able to get me
So
to
the first and last episode are the only things you liked about that show?
Yes.
any
But
show that is
But
No,
you
I like the whole
sat
premise.
through the entire series.
Yes. I like the whole premise behind the show. I like the idea of the show. The way the show is made, the story, how slow the story is, I do not like any part of that.
I don't understand what your problem is with slow stories, because slow stories need to exist in order to have actual good climaxes and good resolutions.
You're right. But if you're building up a story, it shouldn't take an entire season to build a story. Or like that show that I was talking about, where it takes literally 3 seasons for the show to matter.
That's what a season is!
No.
That's how TV shows work, right?
No, it's not. The TV shows work based off a pilot. It goes off the pilot. By usually the 3rd or 4th episode, something major or something important should be happening to keep your interest in the show.
Here's how a structure of a story, movie, show, anime, anything like that works. Your pilot exists. That sets up the plot.
Mhm.
And then each episode in the season continues the plot. And then typically they go on to another season
what happens-
where they continue
What
the plot.
happens when the plot just is ongoing and nothing happens?
Then you end up with like
An anticlimactic piece of garbage.
But you can't say that's Beastars. Beastars is season 1. They had a resolution already in it. They built up the story to a climactic point
that's
and
another
resolved
show.
it.
That's another show that if I'd have watched the first 2 episodes and given up on it. If I had anything better to do, I would not have finished that.
Anyway,
Also-
any show that is able to get me to care about a High School Musical as much as that show did deserves good credit in my book. And I will, like I said, I sent it in the group chat when I was watching it. But there's one episode, the episode where they go to the black market, and he like runs through the black market. The only thing that was running through my head at that time was like the SpongeBob scene where they're running through the perfume section on the fucking Flying Dutchman ship. Because it literally even looked like it. Like, I feel like they looked at that scene and they're like, okay, this is what we want for the anime. And I just thought it was a really good show. I watched that. Love, Death, and Robots was very good.
I agree.
Like, really good. I was genuinely surprised. I mean, some of the episodes, the style changes very differently throughout each episode because it's all different creators and stuff like that taking it on.
What's your favorite episode?
I liked the one where she was the Beast. I really liked, except for the animation, I liked the one where the guy was, he went to, like, it was his crew, they travel, and they get lost in hyperspace, and she wakes up. That one was really good. It's just a lot of really good, like, my favorite thing is short stories.
Mhm.
And aside from that, my favorite thing is, like, different perspective stories. So, like, I always use Halo 2 as kind of the example for that, because you play as both Master Chief and the Arbiter experiencing the same story. And I love, like, dynamic storytelling like that. I mean, that show doesn't do it really that much. But the short story aspect, it 100% nailed. I mean, you have episodes that range from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, and they all manage to do a great job at encapsulating the full story and gripping you in a good way. And then the third show I watched was The Midnight Gospel, which was very cool. It's kind of a bit hard to explain, at least in a way that would make people interested in it. The best way I think of it is, and I'm not sure if it's directly related to the Joe Rogan podcast, but it's definitely kind of like, so the main actor in it, his name is Duncan Trussell, I believe.
Yep.
He is pretty much having like these one-on-one conversations with all these different people, like about spirituality, about existence, you know, what it means to exist, things like that. And it's all put over like these super trippy animated visuals. And although it's animated, it has a lot of human moments, like where the characters are talking to each other and they kind of come to their own revelations. But it also, because the actual sound audio and like the conversations they have, I'm pretty sure are literally just ripped right from pretty much just them sitting in a booth talking to each other normally. And then they animate over that. But there is still a overarching animated story as well, like a story that's happening with the actual character. And there's a lot of like really cool scenes in that too. My personal favorite episode was definitely the last episode. It's Duncan talking to his now late mother, and they have like an interview. She had struggled with cancer, and it's her like kind of at the ends of her ropes talking to him about, you know, what happens after death, how we perceive death, how we accept death, things like that. And it's all animated, like it's set to the scene of like, it shows him entering this reality where he's a child and she's an adult, and she's like raising him, like obviously very sped up. But then the cycle reverses to where now she, after death, becomes a child, and then he is raising her. And it kind of goes through like the whole the whole lifespan of the universe and human beings and everything. It's just a really cool kind of show. Highly recommend it. But I mean, for me, I think that's it. The only other show I've watched was Evangelion, which I don't need to sing praise about that. There's so many other people that already do. Although rewatching it's kind of made me more appreciative of it. So I think the aesthetic, like the art style and everything like that, are definitely some of the best points in that show and best points overall out of a lot of shows that I've watched. But I think that's it for me.
I guess I will go next.
We love taking turns. I will say, Matt, that Black Gospel show sounds very interesting.
Midnight Gospel.
Midnight Gospel, sorry.
If you search up Black Gospel, you might end up at the Black Bible, which I can't recommend that.
It sounds very, that last episode, man, sounds like it hits. All right, Frank, you
Oh,
can go.
it hits.
So I actually, and we talked about this last week about a series of movies that should not be continuing, which is the Fast and the Furious movies.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with those besides everything?
I mean, they're so
You had me
bad.
going for a second, Phil.
But I gotta say, I watched Hobbs and Shaw, and that movie is already the best Fast and the Furious movie. Like Kevin Hart's in it, Ryan Reynolds is in it. Like it's amazing. Like it's funny. It's got good action points, and it doesn't show just a bunch of like guys racing cars over and over again, doing just insane, stupid stunts over and over again. It actually.
Did you watch the Fast and the Furious movies? Because that's not what the movies are about at all.
They're about family, Phil. You're right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't want to talk about it because I'm definitely.
I really don't want to talk
horribly
about Fast and
inappropriate
Furious
about those
again.
movies.
They did say Paul Walker's family gave them consent to keep going on with the franchise.
So, anyways,
Walker's
watch Hobbs and Shaw if you would like to get into that. The movie was actually highly entertaining. Also stick around for the end credit scenes where Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. It also shows Ryan Reynolds has a
Completely unheard of.
copycat tattoo of The Rock's tattoo, which is hilarious.
Like,
yeah.
In the movie or in real life?
No, like in the movie, he pulls off
okay.
he pulls
I was
open
gonna
his
say.
shirt. He's got that like Samoan thing going down his chest the same way that The Rock does. Which is,
I would love if he got that tattoo in real life just for the bit. And that
It definitely seems like a move that Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds would do.
I
Like,
honestly
100%.
want to see Ryan Reynolds in every movie I watch.
Yeah, he's kind of one of those guys.
I agree. I think he's a
They
great
could throw him in
actor.
anything and I'd be there for it.
Sam, you'll like this. I watched Birds of Prey.
I don't know if I like this because I don't think you're gonna like the movie.
Birds of Prey was far better than either of the Suicide Squad movies. I'm including the second one because that's just going to be garbage too.
I have good hopes for it.
I thought I saw it. I enjoyed it massively.
Yeah.
It
What,
was
Birds
actually
of Prey?
really, yeah, Birds of Prey. I thought was really good.
I have two complaints about Birds of Prey. Two complaints.
Okay.
One is the hyena is not featured enough.
Oh, they have her pet.
They changed the name though. It's Bruce.
Yeah.
Oh, that's at least kind of funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, she says in the movie that she names it after Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the second thing is Black Canary's voice thing. Like, I don't really get, like, she only used it once in the movie, but it's alluded that she has it the entire time. And
Yeah, I couldn't agree with both of those grievances. I mean, that's why I've always said, like, the naming of the movie is, like, super misleading because it's basically a Harley Quinn movie, which is fine, but, like, all of the other characters are not featured as much as they should be.
I mean, definitely
also-
after they change the name, I think it works better.
Yeah, it does.
Third thing about that movie is the Huntress is not nearly as attractive as I'd hoped she would have been.
Okay. You know, women can exist, Frank.
Oh my
Impossible. Women don't
God.
exist.
But, like,
They can just exist
in the
without being
Preach,
hot to
Sam.
your eyes.
Preach.
I'm not saying it's against her. She did a good job. She just wasn't as, like, she just didn't look like Huntress, like, remotely at all.
I
Yeah, this comic book
thought
character
every,
not
I
in
thought,
real life.
not that it matters, but I thought every woman in that movie was attractive, so I don't
But it
really
was
agree
also,
with that
I
point,
think,
but I don't think that,
I think it was
dictates how
also
good a movie is.
a weird origin story too, like for Black Canary and Huntress. It was, they tried to like throw that in there. Which
yeah, everything about every character that's not Harley Quinn is like super
Yeah.
like glossed over
Yes.
comparatively, which again, if you didn't call the movie Birds of Prey is fine.
Do they show Wildcat in?
No.
That's so disappointing. I want a Justice Society.
So what,
Yes.
talk about the pros
Yes.
of Birds of
Real
Prey,
bad.
Frank.
I thought that it was cool how they incorporated, like, a lot of people didn't realize that was Victor Zsasz, who's a Batman main villain in it.
Really? Zsasz is in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually very well done, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was always wondering if they were. Zsasz is a completely underrated Batman villain and one of
Yes.
the biggest ones. The fact that they did him, I think they did him justice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Compared to some other villains we have seen, they did him justice.
Black Mask was pretty much
Black
spot
Mask.
on, like, to what Black Mask is. Trying to think of what else. I like Black Mask. The fight scenes are really cool.
Aren't the fight scenes awesome?
Yeah, the fight scenes are really cool. Also, the weird kind of fourth wall break things that they do, like in the ending fight, like they call, like Harley literally changes her costume like mid-fight scene.
Yeah.
They like call it out. They're like, "Oh, how did she have time for a costume change?"
Yeah, I love shit. I like how like
Yeah.
shit like that. Like they point out like things like ask it like she gives someone else like a hair tie. Like they
Yeah.
make points of like transitioning hairstyles and stuff.
Yeah,
that
like
I like.
Black Canary's literally in the midst of a fight, like putting her hair up, and she's like still currently fighting as she's doing it.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
feel like-
Harley Quinn's like want a hair tie, and I'm like, I love that.
I
Yeah.
feel like something like
Ew.
that would work for the movie, but like I feel like that's also just not Harley Quinn's character, like really at all.
But I mean, honestly, I don't really think that this character is the typical Harley Quinn.
This is the DCU's own interpretation of her,
yeah, but
Which is
she's
not
still-
bad. It's
but
not
it's
bad.
better than what we could have. Like, what
Yeah.
if we legitimately had like the Harley everyone expected, like her in like the Joker or the Harley Quinn like costume from the Batman animated series, red and black costume, that would not go over well. I'm gonna be honest, that would have not. They needed to modernize her in her own way.
No, because I don't think
Well,
they
I
were
like
gonna
that.
make a movie where she just gets beat up by the Joker.
I really
Exactly,
like that.
pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah, Frank. They needed to modernize her, and I think she did a pretty, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I really like the
Well-
direction Harley Quinn is going in, and also on the costumes. The costuming in that movie kills it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harley Quinn, have you guys seen the trailer for the second season of the Harley Quinn show?
I've already watched like most of it.
Oh, is the second season's already out?
It's already coming out. Yeah, dude, I've been
Okay, I gotta
watching it
watch
every.
that then.
Yeah, it's really good. Like,
Is it?
Harley's one of the best shows on the DC universe right now.
I just want Doom Patrol season 2.
So
That too.
you saw the trailer, right, Phil?
Yeah, I've already. Well, the seasons are out, so I've been watching that. For the
Yeah, I love, like, if you're hung up on watching the Harley Quinn show, watch the trailer for the second season, because it's just so fucking meta. Like, it's just extremely meta. Like, it literally opens up with two guys in the basement. One's got a Release the Snyder Cut shirt on, and the other one has a The Last Jedi is not canon shirt on.
They know their fan base.
Yeah.
Great.
And it literally opens up with, like, them trying to figure out what they're gonna watch.
Oh my god.
And they're like talking about like the Harley Quinn show, and one of the dudes is like, he's like, I don't like that show. He's like, I'm not gonna watch a show that's based around Gotham but doesn't have Batman in it. And the dude's like, you watched every season of Gotham. And he's like, yeah, but they're supposed to be talking about Batman.
I don't know if you guys ever do this, but I'm very picky about who they use as voice actors. And
Yes.
one of my favorite. Did you see who they have as the voice actor for Batman?
It's
It's
I know who it is. I can't think of his name
because
though.
I realized it halfway through because I
The
figured it out
comedian-
without
comedian-
googling it. And I was like, oh my god.
The comedian has done it. Like, have you ever seen Blades of Glory?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know Amy Poehler's character, her brother in it, like the villains in the movie?
Yeah.
Her brother, that I can never remember his name. He's been Batman in a few animated things.
Really?
Not him, is it?
I don't think so. The guy that plays remember there's Ryan Stiles and then the other guy in the Drew Carey show.
Oh God.
That
Drew
guy's
Carey?
doing the voice of
Nope.
that Batman, and he's hilarious.
He's the Batman from the Brave and the Bold TV show.
Yes.
Yeah, that
I don't-
Brave and the Bold TV show. For
Hold
me.
on, I gotta Google it now.
Batman's voice actor in the Brave and the
Zero.
I mean, I'm
0
someone
out
who
of
will
10.
sing the absolute highest praises for Brave and the Bold because it's so fucking goofy and fun.
That's a 0 out of 10 for me.
Is it Diedrich Bader?
He's the UPS driver from the Drew Carey show.
Yes,
I can never remember his name.
he married
Yeah,
what's her name?
Dedrick Bader, yeah.
Cedric Bader. He also did Owlman, Frank.
in that show.
I believe so.
In Brave and the Bold, he also did. I'm looking at it right now. He also,
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say because Owlman in Crisis on Two Earths is James.
Oh.
Woods.
The easiest way to remember him is he is the macho dude from Napoleon Dynamite.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, I love it.
Preacher was good too. I just finished Preacher. If anybody's interested in watching that, get past the first season is all I'll say. It does pick up. Plus, it's really cool how Hitler takes over hell. That's very interesting and funny.
Oh, isn't he working at like a sub shop at one point?
Yeah, literally Hitler takes over hell. Jesus gets passed up for his
Promotion.
mentally challenged son. Like, it's the story, like,
Isn't it the Holy Spirit?
Jesus literally has like a baby with Mary Magdalene, and the line carries all the way down to like modern day, and he's like special is the only way I can put it. And they call him, oh, what do they call him? They call him like
Arseface?
No. Arseface is the most annoying character in the show because you can't fucking understand him. I literally had to turn on subtitles just to understand what he's saying.
Well, it's like he has an ass for a
I'm sorry.
face.
They don't actually. I didn't turn subtitles on. They have it in the show so you can understand what he's saying.
Yeah, so that's intentional. then.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Um,
Again, his face is literally an ass. Like I wouldn't expect him to speak perfectly.
Yeah, they call like the special Jesus like Bunder Chump, something like some really weird name that they call him by. And he's like the savior, and the way that he's trying to save mankind is he can tap dance. Like it's like
I haven't heard a bad thing yet.
Hell
Like-
yeah.
those interactions are hilarious.
Wow,
So
love that.
But that's well, I mean, I would talk about Parks and Recreation. I was gonna start Arrested Development, and just after Parks and Rec, just couldn't do
I
it.
heard Arrested Development is really good.
Just
What about Community?
I also heard that about Parks and Rec.
Community is good. I will.
Yes, it is.
I can say
Yes, Community is good.
Aside
Arrested
from
Development
Chevy
is also
Chase-
good.
Aside from Chevy Chase being a horrible man.
Yeah.
Yeah, first 2 seasons, Parks and Rec were
How many seasons of Preacher are there, Frank?
4.
Okay.
I finished it in like a day, and they're
I'm
like
gonna list
40-minute
everything you guys are
episodes.
saying.
They're 40-minute episodes. Brooke, I don't know. I have this weird thing where I've been breaking shows down to how long it will take me to watch them.
I do that.
I do that. No, I do that.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I believe, broke it down to like almost 28 hours.
That's 100% how I like consume
Yeah.
media.
Like I was gonna watch. I really want to get into Supernatural, and then I
Oh,
realized
boy.
there's like 14 seasons.
Dude, that's
Frank, as a former 2012 Tumblr user, I can tell you right now.
What was it called? Super Hula?
Super Hulock.
Yeah.
You can just stop watching Supernatural after season 5.
I just
Whoa,
don't.
whoa! What's wrong with every other season? I am watching every episode they're up to. I'm actually angry that they have stopped the season. Every season I've watched that show.
Really?
I'm a part of this train, and I'm gonna go into this ocean with it when this train crashes. I will be with it to the
I
end.
want to get on that.
I love
train.
Supernatural.
There's too much.
So bad
there's just
now.
too
It's
much.
great.
There was too much for me to even consider getting into it.
It's a long show, though. It is quite
Yeah.
the
Well, the
commitment if
episodes
you
are
want to start it now.
The episodes are 40 minutes long, and there's 20, like roughly about 20 episodes in each season. And I think there's there's at least 9 seasons.
See, I've watched way too many cartoons, so like watching, say, regular show where each episode is 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so spoiled to that. It's
I know.
unreal.
I don't have the attention span for a 40-minute show with
It's-
30
I don't
seasons.
mind.
Like, it has to be really engaging for me.
I have to be very invested.
Yeah.
I don't mind long shows. It's just a matter of like if I'm starting for the first time, it depends on how long the seasons are.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if there's 20 episodes in each season and there's 15 seasons, I'm just it's a wrap. I'm not gonna watch it.
All right. So
It's fair. It's a lot to get in.
breaking away from this tangent, Sam, what have you?
I was gonna do that, Matt. If you didn't.
Thank you.
I've
learned from the best, Phil.
Look from the back. Cute. I watched a bunch of movies this weekend, but I'm only going to talk about one, and it's Ex Machina. This came out 6 years ago, and I'm watching it now. It's on Netflix. It's about AI. If you like Black Mirror or anything of that sense, you'll love this movie. It's like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, it's short. It's got Oscar Isaac in it. It's got the actor who played Bill Weasley. I don't know his name.
What is it called?
But Ex Machina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is awesome. I fucking loved it. It's an A24 movie. Yeah, I honestly kind of thought one of you guys would have seen it because it's kind of up your alley.
That sound is, it's not related to like the video
Hold
game
on.
franchise, right? Oh, okay.
No, let me pull up the
It's like
movie
a robot
poster
that
because I
comes
feel
in.
like, yeah, it's about so Oscar Isaac is a tech bro, which and then he recruits this guy to basically test like the artificial intelligence of this robot he built to see if she's like actually got consciousness and is like aware. This is the movie poster, so it might.
Yeah, okay.
help.
I remember seeing a bunch of shit for it when it was like releasing.
It is so fucking good. Like,
Reboot?
I can't emphasize how fucking good this movie is.
Not
I
gonna
am
lie,
kind of like upset I waited 6 fucking years to watch this movie.
I'm not gonna lie. Your description of the movie is literally Blade Runner from the 1980s movie.
I have
It's
seen
very
Blade Runner.
similar.
It's,
Logan.
it's
Yeah.
got Blade Runner energy. Like,
Okay,
it's
then I gotta watch it.
it's got Blade Runner energy. It is so. But I can't emphasize how fucking good this movie was. But it's on Netflix. Big fan.
Sam, what else have you been?
Yeah. Because he's right.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that was like the good movie I watched this week, so it's like really my main rec. I also watched Good Time, stars Robert Pattinson. It's by the directors of Uncut Gems. This is like the movie they did before Uncut Gems. So I watched that as like a
Prelude to Uncut Gems.
yeah, as like Uncut Gems is gonna be on Netflix this month. I'm gonna watch their other movie. It was good. It wasn't like anything great. Robert Pattinson was in it though. We all know how Frank feels about that man. But it was good. It was fine. But if you're gonna watch any of the movies, I recommend watch Ex Machina. It's on Netflix and only an hour and a half long. We love a 90-minute movie. So
Absolutely.
That's my rec for the week. Other than that, though, I haven't really consumed a lot of media. I took a break from Jojos real quick, not because I don't like it, but because I was kind of plowing through it and needed a gap.
Did you finish part 2 yet?
Part 3? I
No,
finished part 2, and then I got a couple episodes into part 3, and then I just kind of, I'm gonna jump back into it. I just don't want to read subtitles right now.
Honestly, waiting to start part 3 is a good idea because part 3 is very long.
I started part 3 and then I was like, oh, this is long. So then I was like, I'm gonna take a break and watch other things and then come back.
Yeah.
That's I'm still into it. I just,
part 2. Part 2 is definitely, I feel like, one of the better ones.
I loved part 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say mainly just because I love young Joseph.
My hot take is also that I liked part 1. I was very into the Victorian spooky vibes.
Gothic, the gothic horror kind of.
I was aggressively into the stylization of part 1.
Yeah, part 1 is definitely part 1 gets a lot of flack.
It does.
Which I kind of get it.
That's because the first episode is painful.
Horrible.
Through.
They fucking murder a dog in the first episode.
The first episode's extreme. When I watched that, you guys have been telling me for months to watch that show, and then I watched the first episode and I was like, this is garbage.
I will say, I always preface, hey, you should watch JoJo's. The first 3 episodes are by far the hardest.
I want you to know, for contrast, I was very much on board right from the get-go. Episode 1, I was like, I'm in.
Well, I didn't, when I watched it, I didn't really like episode 1, but I'm like, well, I might as well see where it goes.
They're only 20-minute long episodes.
That's the thing,
keep going. Yeah.
That's why I stuck with it. I'm very happy I did.
I also watch a lot of content based solely around the art style of the thing. So I was very much like, wow.
JoJo's art style?
It's literally an iconic media that has shaped so much fucking pop culture. I have read a lot of fucking articles about JoJo's influence on pop culture. I read
Naruhiko Araki, holding it down.
I read a fucking article about JoJo's influence on the figure skating community.
What makes it the posing and stuff like that? That kind of makes sense. I can see that.
Because a lot of Japanese figure skaters do the poses and the routines and stuff at the Olympics and crap. And then I read, I haven't finished this article yet. It's bookmarked in my tabs though. It's about queer masculinity and JoJo's.
You should read some Araki's
interviews, where he actually talks about a lot of stuff.
See, I want to. I haven't watched those yet though, because I was like, I should probably finish the show first. I get a little nervous.
Spoilers and stuff like that.
I also almost ordered the manga on Amazon, but then I realized how much money I would have to spend to have every book, and then I ordered none.
It definitely adds up.
Folks, I gotta head out. I'm gonna go out to Cooperstown.
Oh, okay.
We never got your Rex.
You ready? Waco, The Lighthouse, and Bosch season 6.
Fucking watch The Lighthouse.
Bosch
fan.
6.
Bosch, do you guys know who Titus Welliver is?
Yes.
He was in Sons of. He's not a big actor, but he is actually in real life. He's an action figure collector, but he plays an LAPD detective, and he's it's based on a series of books. One of my favorite shows of all time. But yeah, take care, guys. I will see you later.
Bye.
All right, bye, Grant. But yeah, I am very into JoJo's. I've been consuming content about it
Yeah.
kind of passively now. But yeah, figure skating and JoJo's, man. It was a very interesting thing to read.
Araki's impact on fashion, things like
having what was it? Was it Gucci? Was it a Gucci collab?
It's Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but Gucci, it was Gucci had never collabed with someone before or something like that. Yeah.
Especially anime is still kind of stigmatized and kind of.
Yeah, it's a big deal that
So for someone to be able to reach into that far into the mainstream,
JoJo's has such a reach in the mainstream, especially model culture, and I'm upset Grant left because I could talk about TikTok culture in JoJo's. like people like because TikTok people pick up like dances and stuff like regularly, like that's like its thing. There are so many that incorporate JoJo's poses.
The JoJo pose song and just so
That song, first of all, that song is a fucking bop.
I'm not gonna say it's not.
It's a banger. But yeah, there's like a whole like TikTok trend of doing that, like to that song and like striking the poses. And then there's like a TikTok trend of like you put yourself on like 3 times speed and you like anime slide into frame and you strike like an anime pose. And they're all like JoJo's poses. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean even just to other anime, like you can go through and I mean there are so many. Like there are entire
like,
channels on YouTube that are dedicated to just showing, oh, here's a reference to JoJo. Here's a reference to JoJo.
There's a like a wiki list of like JoJo's references in pop culture, and the anime section is so long.
I mean it's a meme in its own right. Like people
is that a
joke
JoJo
all the time?
reference?
Oh, is this a JoJo reference? Like it exists because it's so impactful. Like I mean even when you think of part 1, I think it released in like 1987 or something like that. Released before Dragon Ball, which I don't remember exactly when the Dragon Ball manga released. I think only by like a couple of months. But I mean, it was originally released as like a shonen, first released in Shonen Jump. Yeah. And from there, like it has just stemmed into so many different avenues, different cultures, everything. Like it's one of those things that's it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's so weird, but so many people are able to kind of relate to it and kind of love it. Yeah.
And there's a lot of like pop culture that people consume that I don't think they realize has been like influenced by JoJo's. It's pretty like fucking incredible. I have like a lot of like video essays about it in my watch later on YouTube that I'm like, I can't wait to finish this fucking show so I can watch all of the like content analyzing JoJo's, because I can't watch it now because it'll spoil the show. But I want to.
One channel I'll recommend for once you at least catch up with the anime. I mean, he posts stuff about the manga, of course, too. Is Shuckmeister is the name of the guy.
All right, I'm writing that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down.
I also want to introduce a new segment that I want to start doing.
Interesting. What is it?
What?
Frank hates everything.
Sam's obscure movie recommendations.
I'm not sure what to call it yet, but we're gonna call it, I guess, the fourth wall news, because there is news that's out there right now, which would be.
Can we add like a copyright free like news sound?
A special news bulletin.
Rick and Morty is coming back.
Yes, that comes out tonight.
I'm not at all.
Wait, tonight?
Tonight at 11:30 p.m.
I'm not excited for it all. I feel like
I want you to know my excitement went very high, and then Max at 11:30 p.m. and then it went back down. I'll watch it tomorrow.
My excitement for season 4 was unparalleled.
Yes, but I feel like they've just burned too many bridges, and I feel like they shouldn't get the excitement anymore.
I don't know about that. I mean,
it's still a good show, and also if you don't even if you didn't like the episode, it's not like you lost a ton of your time either.
Well, no, I like all the episodes.
Well, you lose a ton of time in the waiting that you do for the show.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the thing. Like, there's just no excuse for how long it takes them. Like, there's no.
I mean, some would say there is excuses, and it's called you're animating a fucking TV show.
As someone who watched Steven Universe from like air, hiatuses mean nothing to me.
I'm immune to them now. Yeah. I waiting for TV does not even faze me. You could watch other TV while you wait. It's really fine.
The only thing that bothered, like the only medium that I actually get like flustered with it about is anime. Like, for example, Dr. Stone season 2. If we ever goddamn get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know it's like confirmed, but I just want a release date at least.
Man.
Next part is Kevin Conroy stated that his favorite on-screen Batman or live-action Batman is Ben Affleck.
Wait, who said this?
Officially confirmed and saying he's like the #1 voice actor for Batman, like from the Batman.
Yeah, I didn't hear the name. Who said this?
Kevin Conroy.
Oh, okay.
Which I wholeheartedly agree with, by far, bar none.
It's just too bad the directing and things like that.
The directing was trash.
Batman in parts.
Yeah.
Well, that's also Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's not Ben Affleck's fault. I think he still played his cards to the fullest extent that he could. It's just he's still got a shitty hand.
And then also we might lose Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther due to a pay discrepancy of sorts, I guess.
I need to see some articles on that. That's so devastating.
I mean,
it
is crazy, but I mean, crazier things have happened.
I mean, especially because of how
there's
huge
also
Black Panther was.
There's also monstrous, nothing confirmed, but monstrous rumors that RDJ is coming back.
I've seen that a bit.
Like, I've been seeing him like plastered everywhere.
I don't know if you guys notice this, but do you feel during these times that anything you read, you just immediately don't believe?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And is it weird that I immediately start feel even stuff in the entertainment business? I just like I don't believe it. Like
and
soccer.
That's why you have to fact check things, baby. You gotta check.
I'm just really hoping it, just to call back again to last week, that Dr. Dolittle was fucking terrible.
I'm glad we're bringing that back up.
And that if that's where RDJ wants to go with his career, I hope his career ends very shortly and he retires.
All right.
Not saying I wouldn't be interested in seeing him like reprise Sherlock Holmes. Like that would be awesome.
I'm so sad that didn't get more.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that those movies are like hella underappreciated.
Absolutely. I just watched all 3 of them like 2 weeks ago. They were amazing.
I still love those clips of like when he's beating up the boxer and he's like running through his game plan. Like I love it so much.
Oh yeah.
There's only 2 of them, not 3.
Yeah, as I say, there's 2.
Okay. I honestly do not remember how many movies there are. You could have said any number and I would have been like, yeah.
I also trying to think of what else too. DC Marvel switching distributors for comics. Not sure where they're going with it, but also the kind of looming threat of them not doing printed books anymore for new books. I think that's a very feasible thing that could happen, and just it all be digital pretty much. Any new stories or new books. I mean, it sucks, but it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of feels a little bit like a cross that bridge when we get there type of thing, but that would really suck. Like, I am a tangible book person. I like having physical books a lot.
But they can't produce it on time. They can't produce it correctly. They can't make enough copies. Not every store there's just so many issues with print. So many issues.
Yeah, I mean, and I get that. Like, I would kind of understand.
If they want to fix that by switching distributors, which they are doing, then by all means. But if they can't fix that, then just don't bother. Just don't bother.
Yeah.
Just because it's more of a pain than, I mean, if any customer of ours has known in the past, I mean, ordering and getting books in could be months, legitimately months.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that's like just not at all in our control.
Yes.
Which I'm sure they know that, but I'm going to put that out there as a preface anyway.
And then not to jump into Star Wars like we do virtually every single podcast, but since this is around May 4th, Clone Wars has finally, I think, finished at this point. I'm not caught up on it. But I did see like some of the previews for like Order 66, or like they did announce Darth Maul joining The Mandalorian for season 2. That I believe is confirmed.
I did not see that.
How many times can they shoehorn Darth Maul into a story?
Because you cannot do a Star Wars movie without fucking Jedi. I don't know how many times they need to beat
Darth
that.
Maul's not a Jedi. So.
Well, Jedi or Sith. Without lightsabers. Is that better? You cannot have a Star Wars show, movie, anything without lightsabers. It does not work. I don't know why they have to keep beating that dead horse. Also, Tiger King's awful. Like, I can't believe that existed, and I don't believe that's a thing. And
I feel like I missed the peak time to watch Tiger King, and since I didn't watch it when it was like popping, now I'm never gonna watch it, and I'm okay with that.
I just don't really love supporting.
I mistakenly put it on the other watched like the first 3 episodes, and it's legitimately just terrible. Like,
and I will say I am a bitch who loves trash TV, and I still won't watch Tiger King. Like, I watch like a lot of like garbage television, and I haven't watched Tiger King. So. But
I believe that is all the news, at least that I've seen. thus far. At least it's pop culture news and stuff like that.
Did you see that Disney Plus is making like a making of the Mandalorian thing?
Pass.
I don't know. I don't
Hard
know
pass.
if it's like a movie or a show. No, I'm very not a pass. I'm a big fan. I love making of
I
content.
can't stand. That's virtually all that's on Disney Plus is making of.
Yes, and I love it. It's all I've watched on Disney Plus. I love making of stuff. As a media gremlin, I like seeing how other bitches make things.
I loved, like, if you've ever watched, like, any of the Alien documentaries.
I have.
Like, yeah, like, those, like, I definitely get it. Like,
I
where they
fucking
talk
love
about
Alien.
creation
I
of-
feel like we don't talk about Alien enough.
I mean, don't get me started, Sam.
I fucking love Alien.
But, like, I fell into the rabbit hole of watching these guys on YouTube where it's, like, literally just a bunch of dudes with special effects, like, knowledge and stuff like that, and they go over, like, good and bad cases of CGI in media. And actually, on one of the episodes I watched, they talked about the Golden Compass TV show.
What is this called?
It's
Like,
literally
what's their
search up,
channel?
like, if you type in, like, VFX reacts, I'm sure it will come up.
Okay.
Write
Write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
I have to, or I'll forget. I have a whole column in my notes that's just like shit people have recommended that I think sounds cool.
Yeah. But like they did an episode talking about like the CGI for the Golden Compass TV show, and like they showed a clip from it, and it really does look absolutely insane. How like they show, like the polar bear coming out,
Yeah.
and like it's completely animated. It
The
looks like
Golden
a living
Compass
creature.
The Golden Compass TV show isn't out yet, is it?
I thought it was.
Is it out, or is it an HBO Max thing?
I'm fairly certain that it is.
Because I feel like that's a media I like want to kind of consume, but I am just like not on.
Yeah, especially like HBO, like the Watchmen TV show. I still haven't gotten around to watching that.
There's a lot of HBO TV shows I like want to watch, and I just haven't.
I still haven't. Like Game of Thrones is one that I've completely given up on that.
Honestly, Matt, I feel like you've missed the boat on Game of Thrones,
Yeah,
and now
I'm
it's
not
just
that
okay
mad
that
about
it's all right that you've never seen it.
It's
fine.
definitely not worth it because it's not worth
like
it.
I loved Game of Thrones. The last season is trash, and the fact that you know the last season sucks kind of makes it hard to get into it.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard people say the last season sucks, but I don't know for myself that it sucks.
Yeah, but Matt, you would think it sucks.
But I find it very funny that like while Game of Thrones was releasing, like saying, "Oh, I haven't watched Game of Thrones," and hearing, "Oh my God, you have to watch it. Why aren't you watching? Oh my God, watch it!" And then now after it's all over, like I say, "Oh, I haven't watched Game of Thrones," and I hear, "Oh, well, you're lucky." Like that kind of stuff. Like
it is a good show. Like I still like Game of Thrones, and I enjoyed watching it. It's just it was a disappointing ending, and that the part that sucks is that like the people who were watching Game of Thrones had to wait 2 fucking years for that last season. I think if you binged watched Game of Thrones, it would be better because you wouldn't have had like 2 years of hype around the last season.
True.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of things are being hyped up at this point too, like for like the end of quarantine, like a lot of things releasing, movies, shows, stuff like that.
I fucking miss a movie theater so fucking bad.
Yeah,
I love movie theaters.
I don't think I can name you one movie that I would have gone to see in theaters.
Trolls World Tour? Are you kidding me? You want to talk about that?
Oh, actually, yeah, AMC theaters just
how they're just
the beef with AMC.
Yeah. This is just me. I know there's a business, but with everything going on right now, AMC just saw an opportunity. Like, you know what? Or excuse me, Universal saw an opportunity. Like, you know what? Let's give back to everyone that is in a bad spot. Let's give this kids movie away, and they did. AMC, essentially all the big theater companies lost their mind because they just lost so many profits.
Well, to interject real quick, it's because Universal was basically like, oh, Trolls World Tour did so well being able to like rent to buy at home that we're going to put more movies directly to pay for at home, and then AMC was pissed.
Which honestly I think is the future of movies, to be honest.
That was, in my eyes, AMC doing this, they're just signing their death warrant now. They're just going to, like, I could see, like, what Marvel did with Black Widow is a great example. Like, we're just pushing it back. Because they probably made deals with AMC and all these other companies. But Universal's like, screw you. Eventually, we're all going to be our own little like cluster anyways. We're gonna do our own thing. You don't matter anymore. This is the future to begin with.
I'm not a fan of the streaming wars. Like,
No, neither am I.
Like, I really do miss, like, yeah, Netflix and Hulu were the two top dogs, and they didn't have much to offer. Like, they had some stuff, but nowhere near what they have now.
Oh, I was
But,
like, wait, what?
Yeah, no. I'm not saying now they have.
Netflix is literally taking over the world.
Yeah, Netflix is pumping out so much Netflix original shit. It's insane.
Yeah.
But I also hate the fact, like, you look at B-Stars and they're like, oh, a Netflix original animation.
I hate that.
Like,
so
come on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're animating it.
Like
but
Seven Deadly
is the
Sins is
story-
original, which
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. This was made in Japan first in the
Yes.
comic book.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But, like, I think the problem is going into that direction, I don't want to subscribe to 13 different services.
I mean,
I'd much rather actually pay to go see the movie in a movie theater than to have to pay for fucking 15 different subscription service, half of which I use and half of which I need to have.
I also I like the experience of going to a movie
I
theater.
agree.
Not like
We
I
won't be able to
love
now.
it. I
Like,
know,
going-
Frank, I am very upset about it. I'm very
I mean,
emo about
honestly,
it.
like, to me, all TV shows should be put on stream. There should be no cable TV anymore.
TV shows, I'll agree
I mean,
with.
TVs, that's fair, but movies, you
Movies,
go to a
yeah.
movie theater for an experience of going to a movie theater. And as much as I love watching shit at home, you're not as ingrained as you are at a movie theater. Every movie I have watched at home and like loved, I wish I could have saw in a movie theater. Like, I wish I saw these movies in a movie theater because you get more immersed, and I'm not checking my phone because I feel like a dick.
Or I've been like putting on movies and shows and just like playing Smash on my Switch.
I do that every day.
And I find that I miss half the shit that goes on.
Yeah, you do. And that you, like, obviously you're not going to play your Switch at a movie theater. So you could enjoy the movie more at a movie theater.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm in a movie theater, I'm definitely more engrossed in the movie, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah,
I'm
me
still
too.
more like into it than
Yeah.
Because if I was watching home and I'm watching something that I don't really care about, I'm gonna take out my phone and stop paying attention. And
100%. 100%. I'm gonna be on my phone. Like, there were times, like when I was watching Ex Machina, I wish I could have seen that movie in theaters because it, like, I mean, I was checking my phone occasionally, and then I'd have to rewind because I was like, no, this movie's fucking good. Like, repay attention. But if you're in a movie theater, you're like actually engrossed in it. I miss movie theaters so fucking bad, guys. Remember Movie Pass? Because I was that bitch that fucking ruined Movie Pass because I was seeing
old Movie Pass.
it was like, what? How much money was it a month? Like $15 a month, $5 a month?
Yeah, 15 or 10, I think.
It was like 10 or 15.
It was fucking cheap. And I saw a movie like every fucking day. That was like, I was that person that like, Movie Pass works if you see like 3 movies a month, but I was that bitch that saw like every fucking movie there was showing. Because I love movies. I don't even care if the movie's good or bad. I love them. I will see them no matter. I saw movies not knowing what the fuck they were about. And I fucking miss paying $10 a month to see like 30 movies. There's no way to bring that back, but I wish they could.
I don't think there's a way for movie theaters to come back.
Frank, I really hate that you're like speaking that into existence.
Nah, the drive-in movie theaters are gonna make a comeback.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, with the LED screen technology I've been working with at work, I'm pushing my boss to be like, hey.
How do you guys
I don't
feel about
shoot-
drive-ins?
I
Do you
love
like them?
going to the drive-in in Rome.
I mean, drive-ins, especially with the new norm and everything like that, drive-ins actually are a really good answer to that. But
I like a drive-in movie theater. I'm here for them.
I feel like it's a different experience than just a normal movie theater.
Yeah.
Like, Sam, do
obviously,
you remember that one in Rome?
Yeah, I used to go to it with my parents a lot.
How long has it been closed for? Like maybe 10 years?
At least.
No, it hasn't been that.
It
feel like it
closed.
What was the
it-
last
long.
movie?
It closed
there.
and
And
then
then
it
reopened. Yeah.
So the first initial close was like maybe like 2006,
Yeah.
and then it reopened like in 2007 for like 2 or 3 years and closed again.
Yeah, no, I used to go to that a lot with my parents because it was like you pay per car. So when you have kids, it's a super cheap way to take your kids to see like the latest Pixar movie. And you bring whatever snacks you want so you don't have to pay for like movie theater snacks.
Yes.
It's
And
the way.
sometimes you can stay and get the next movie too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
why they went out of
Way to
business.
talk
That's
about
why they went out of business.
I was going to say,
Logan,
way
but-
to talk about supporting local business and then talk about immediately robbing local business.
It's actually because just they needed more car dealerships in Rome. So that's
Which is fucking stupid. Don't even get me started on local drama about the fact that they did not need more car dealerships.
They always need more car dealerships. I'm eventually just hoping that all of New Hartford is car dealerships.
All the entire...
All of it.
the entire
They
upstate
destroy your
New
store.
Yes.
They just pave over it and it becomes one big car lot.
Yep.
I'd be for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Bring back drive-in movie theaters. I feel like that would be a solid idea right now. But it won't happen, so that's depressing. Go ahead, Phil.
What are you guys having for dinner?
We're having chicken rings tonight, actually.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
gonna make...
Oh, sorry. Continue, Sam.
Oh, no, you can go, Matt. It's fine.
I was gonna say I made fish fry last night.
Homemade?
Yeah, I've been making
Nice.
I've been making homemade beer batter.
I actually did a beer better the other night.
Ooh.
UC.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
The
Hell
Sam
yeah.
Adams actually
I told
for that.
you.
Yeah, it came out super good.
The
You
UC,
That
Yingling is
sounds
good, too.
bomb.
the UC was pretty good too. I did.
That sounds so good.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have not. I've been eating every meal I've eaten since I've been in quarantine has been like made by me, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I'm not gonna lie, this quarantine has really made me like realized how much I love cooking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
right?
cooking. I legitimately love cooking.
I legitimately almost want to like have a food truck because
Do it.
I've been enjoying it that much.
I've been like, I bake on like my Instagram stories, and I've determined that like the alternative reality where I have like a cooking show is like my peak,
Yeah.
because I
I-
fucking thrive on it.
I realized I might have to do something about it because the other night I literally had a dream about cooking something. Like it wasn't like some like extraordinary dish or anything. Like it was just a completely normal thing that like someone would cook, and I was just dreaming about it.
Because I feel like in quarantine, what you have to look forward to is the thrill of cooking and what you're gonna make. It's a good time. I'm making Brussels sprouts tonight. I can't fucking wait.
I love Brussels sprouts.
I
So-
have
I
an idea.
love Brussels sprouts.
I want to make like almost like a beer batter, but not really. Like with hot or like some sort of buffalo sauce or something like that.
Ooh.
And make like,
Ooh.
chicken wings or mozzarella sticks.
Ooh, mozzarella sticks sounds like it'd be so good.
I really want to try it with that. I want to try it. I don't know how well it's going to turn out or if it will work at all, but
Yeah.
I have decent.
Try it.
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully soon.
I have chicken. I'm making pulled chicken today. That's my big thing. I'm trying to eat healthy, so I've been buying like lettuce and stuff, getting ready to like try to get not diet, but I've been
Yeah.
eating really, really bad. Like this
Ooh,
entire diet.
Speaking of lettuce, I have exciting, not that exciting news. I went through an entire bag of spinach before it went bad. I was
Nice.
so proud.
Little victories, man. Isn't it funny how little victories in your life when it
I
comes
was like, because
if-
I always buy fucking spinach, and I'd never go through the entire thing because I am one person, and it's a lot of fucking spinach. But I went through an entire bag.
Just
The
make
key,
You've been
Yeah,
baking more too, so why don't you just make like spinach roll or something?
I mean, yeah, the key, that is a good idea. I should make those. But the key was putting spinach in a fuck ton of smoothies, putting it in like scrambled eggs, and like every time I made like basically anything, incorporating spinach somehow.
I love spinach and scrambled eggs or like.
Oh my god, of like a veggie like
It's
egg
like
scramble is so good.
what is that? Is it Jim Brat, the like Utica thing?
That's the greens. That's
Yeah.
greens, sausage, potato.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude, I may make that for dinner. Like that sounds great right now.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Logan, you're not talking.
Because I was waiting for a pause to talk.
what do
No,
you?
you have to
eat,
interject.
Logan?
Okay, I am going to be having, if I'm correct, grilled chicken with mac salad and potato salad.
That does not sound horrible at all.
No, that's
I'm
such
full
a
of that.
traditional. That's such a traditional like summer food.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I love it.
My
Sounds
family
like some good
does.
soul food, my man.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my family does Sunday dinners, and that's what we do.
That's cute.
Grateful with the weather.
I said, do you not like cooking?
Oh, I love cooking.
Oh,
Trust me, I love cooking. Like I tried last Friday, I tried my own take on General Chow's Chow's chicken and some.
Please don't.
That's my
bring
go.
up
That's my
Chinese
go-to
food.
Chinese.
Please don't bring up
order.
Chinese food. Please
I
don't bring up Chinese.
I did. I was
I
able.
miss I miss it
Oh.
so bad.
I got through Peking Tokyo. That's why I don't want to mention it.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Like,
Oh,
desperate people. Dude, Chinese food will be the hottest commodity like when this is all over. Okay, well on that note, I'm starving now that we're talking about food, so I'm gonna go make something.
all right.
All right, let me do the outro.
Do an outro real quick.
All right. So thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back next week. If you guys have anything you want us to talk about or any subjects you want us to kind of gloss over or go into depth on, let us know. Also, we'll be adding more news next week. Make sure you check out our social media and the GoFundMe page that'll be up live this week. Happy May 4th, and hopefully Free Comic Book Day is rescheduled pretty soon. So make sure you check up and get updated on all the Fourth Wall news and enjoy the podcast.
Great. Cool.